guys, and welcome back to another Meal Prep Sunday. I am so glad that you are joining me today. If you are new here, my name is Jennifer. I like to meal prep every week for my husband and I. I basically pick out 2 meals. We alternate those meals throughout the week, Sunday night through Friday night, and I really don't have to worry about cooking anything else during the week unless there's a little side item or something that kind of goes with what we are eating for the meal. But anywho, if you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed and you like my channel, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down below and that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my uploads. And also follow me over on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram handle on the screen for you here as well. And I have a really great Facebook group that I co-admin with Roy from Recipes with Roy and Bree with Balancing Life with Bree. It is called Finding Our Way. This is the icon to that Facebook group, and we would love it if you would join that Facebook group. It is a really good group. Highly suggest it. There is a direct link down in my description box to that Facebook group. And also, speaking of the description box, there will also be links and or all of the recipes typed out in the description box for you down below. There's also links to my Amazon store, Fetch Rewards Out, my Weight Watchers link if you want to get a free month of Weight Watchers, or any other information that you may want. Usually it's going to be down in the description box below on the video. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. Okay guys, real quick before we jump into the video, I just wanted to go over what we are going to cook today. So for one of our meals, I'm going to make, it's basically just air fryer chicken breast seasoned up. This is from Skinnytaste.com. Juicy air fryer chicken breast. This will be 0 points on the blue plan and purple, and then however many ounces you make, you would have to count that for green. But it is literally just seasoning it up with some seasoning and then cooking it in, oh, I see I need to brine the, I'm actually glad that I'm looking at this because I'm supposed to put this in water and salt for an hour to an hour and a half to brine before I cook it. So I need to do that real quick, and so that can set. But anywho, then you just cook it in the air fryer. We will make it in several different little batches because you know the air fryer will probably only hold 2 or 3 pieces. We just slice our chicken breast thin into like chicken cutlets. And then along with it, I'm going to make the California blend vegetables that I season up with the Montreal steak seasoning. That will be 0 points as well. And then for my carb source, we're doing sweet potatoes. It's been a hot minute since I've had some sweet potatoes. Y'all know how I love them. So we're just going to do the diced sweet potatoes seasoned up with the cinnamon and the pink Himalayan sea salt. So good and so easy to make. So both of those I will just cook in the oven at the same time, and then just kind of go through and rotate out the chicken breast. And then for the other meal, we are going to do the egg roll in a bowl. So I know some of y'all have been wanting to see that. It's been a hot minute since I have made that. And the recipe that I'm using is from Slapdash Mom. I can't remember if there's any changes that I make on here. I mean, I am going to use 2 pounds of 99% lean ground turkey, where her recipe calls for 1.5. I'm just using some shredded slaw mix instead of, 3 cups of cabbage. Things like that. I've got some shredded carrots. So basically pretty much everything's about the same. I think the last time that I did this, it came out to about 2 points per serving. We shall see. She has hers as 2 on green, 1 on purple, and 1 on blue. But I will have both of these recipes linked down in the description box below. And then for dessert, I am going to attempt to make some pumpkin muffins. We shall see how they come out. I've looked at 2 or 3 different recipes just to try to come up with ideas. I'm going to use the Kodiak cake, like protein pack mix to make it. I picked up some pumpkin spice Lily's chips to put in there. So I kind of have high hopes for it. We shall see. I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible with not too many ingredients, but also try to keep it as low in points as possible. So let's just hope that it turns out well. So I'll be surprised and y'all be surprised too. So we'll see how good it is. Hopefully they are yummy. But that is the plan. So now let's roll into the video. Alrighty, we are ready to get started today. This is what Charlie has to prep for the day. So these are the chicken breasts that we are going to use for the air fryer chicken. He's just going to slice them in half lengthwise, so we will have thinner pieces, and trim those up. That's what he's going to do with those. And then of course I have my peppers as normal, my tomatoes to slice as normal. I'll wash my blueberries like I normally do. We got this tiny little cantaloupe this week and a tiny little pineapple, but I did get a watermelon for him to cut up, but as you can see, it has a bad spot on it. Charlie thinks the whole thing's going to be rotten. And I'm like, maybe it's just that spot. So he's going to try it and see. If it's too bad, then he's going to take it back up to Kroger and we're going to get another one or whatever. But that's one bad thing about like grocery pickup. Like, see, somebody would never pick that out of the store. And then we got some sweet potatoes that will go along with the chicken breast. For the egg roll in a bowl, there's really nothing for him to prep. It's just going to be ground turkey and the veggies and stuff like that. He is going to have to make a run to Publix because we are out of the Chung spring rolls, which you will need to get 2 boxes of them so that we have 6 at least. Because the last time we ran out and there was one night that he didn't get one. But if y'all want to see Mr. Nico, he is over here deciding to stand in my cabinet where I got it. Oh, here he comes. He's going to jump. Oh, no, he's not. Come up here, Nico. Come say good morning. He's obsessed with that cabinet being open. Yeah, you saying good morning to everybody? And so when I got the sweet potatoes out, because I keep them down there, well, in a basket in the bottom, he kind of pushed it back. But he loves to run inside any kind of closet door that is open. And then sometimes he won't come out. But once he heard me talking to y'all, he decided he needed to come up here and see what was going on. You're just going to lay right on it, right on the chicken? That's kind of gross. We'll put that back in the fridge until Charlie gets ready to prep that. That will be his last thing. He always does all of the fruits and veggies first and then the meat last. But with all that being said, we are running super behind today because I didn't get up until after 10 o'clock. And I need to run in here and get a shower. So we will roll into Charlie's prep now. Say bye, Nico.
Don't wanna say goodbye, yeah. Want your skin on my skin. Just one last time. If I can't have you, babe, I don't want nobody else in my life. So darling, please pull me closer. If this is the last time, make it count now, baby. Yeah, darling, please pull me closer. It's not over until it's over. I know we get it all we got, yeah, we try. Side by side, side, but I get it. Sometimes love's just not enough when you try. Side by side, but things don't get better. You get bitter. I wanna say goodbye, yeah. Lay your head on my chest. Just one last time. If I can't have you, babe, I don't want nobody else around. So darling, please pull me closer. If this is the last time, make it count now, baby. Yeah, darling, please pull me closer. It's not over until it's over. I know we get it all we got, yeah, we try. Side by side, but I get it. Sometimes love's just not enough when you try. Side by side, but things don't get better. You get bitter.
Okay, real quick, I'm going to brine these chicken breasts as she says to do in the recipe so that it can have time to set, and then while that's setting, I will work on the egg roll in a bowl. But I'm gonna bend you down here. So basically you need 6 cups of lukewarm water, which I have 4 cups in here, and then I have 2 more cups I'm gonna add in. And then you need 1/4 of a cup of salt. Well, she says kosher salt. This is just regular salt. And then it says to stir to dissolve. Then we're just going to take the chicken breast and put down in here. I've never done this before. Have y'all ever, I guess, brined your chicken breast or anything else? What we're going to do is put it in the refrigerator for at least an hour to an hour and a half which is plenty of time because I still have to do my fruit bowls, and we can make the egg roll in a bowl and all that, and then it will be ready for me to start on this. Okay, so I have a lid for that bowl. I'm going to put it on there, and we are just going to pop it in the refrigerator for an hour to an hour and a half. Alright, we are ready to throw together our fruit bowls as we do every week. I have cantaloupe, pineapple, watermelon, and blueberries. So the watermelon that Charlie cut up was not rotten all the way through, so I was right about that. Haha. He thought it was going to be. It tastes okay. It's not the sweetest thing in the world. It's probably the last one that I'll order this season. But anywho, let's get these together and in the fridge and out of the way.
Show me the car where you turn me on, the way you tell me you want me down. Done it, I done this before you fall. I won't catch you, don't know I'm stalling, cause you love to have them all crying. Calling me sweeter, telling me you need me, but I'm from a city that's high school. I give them this and the more I go. Cause you a bad money, she don't love money. She break grass real fast like gunman. Wanna swim down to the deep end, wanna know all my secrets, honestly. Can you keep it real, cause honestly I can tell that you're real fond of me. Baby, don't be shy, I can see it in your eyes. I've been running around, too bad I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand it, how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night? Too bad I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand it, how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night? Take it, baby, baby, I ain't scared to take it. Oh, and maybe when I take it, oh, I feel it coming down too strong. Cause I want ya, and it's hard to resist, cause I need ya, and it's hard to.
Alright, here are my 7 containers of fruit, and then I have 6 containers of yogurt because I do have one left over. Since we went out for lunch yesterday, I did not end up having one of my fruit bowls, and then the rest of my fruit was not good for today, so we had to like chuck that. But the yogurt is still good, so I have 1 yogurt left. And then I have my tomato sliced for this week for my sandwiches and my diced peppers as usual. So I'm going to throw all this in the fridge, and then we will get busy on the next item. Alright, we are getting ready to put together the turkey burgers, so they will be ready for Charlie to grill whenever he gets back. I'm just going to use 1 pound of the lean ground turkey breast, and then 2 tablespoons of this Thule's Southern style barbecue rub and seasoning. You do have to order this from the lady that makes it through her email, so if you are interested in that, let me know and I will give you the information. I will try to also remember to link it in the description box down below. But this is really good. It's just kind of an all-purpose seasoning, but it tastes really good mixed in with the turkey. So 2 tablespoons of this, 1 pound of turkey breast, and we're going to make 4 turkey patties out of it, and then Charlie will grill it on the grill. Super easy. Okay, so we have our 1 pound of ground turkey in there, and then we are going to go in with our 2 tablespoons of the seasoning. Another seasoning that I like to use is the Mrs. Dash tomato basil. That one is really good as well, and I kind of do the same ratio, just 2 tablespoons. And you can add any seasonings that you want to it, because with 99% lean ground turkey, it's pretty flavorless. So there's 1 tablespoon and 2, and we're just going to mix it up and form it into patties. So I'm just going to mix it with a spoon, and then we will portion it out into the 4 turkey patties, and I'm just going to stick them on a paper plate, put them in the fridge, and they'll be ready for Charlie to grill. It won't take him but just a few minutes. I just think they taste better on the grill. You can probably cook them in the air fryer or on a skillet on the stove as well. Okay, and then I'm just going to use this little hamburger press to make them. I'm going to measure out about 4 ounces for each one of them. And just so that the turkey doesn't stick, I am going to spray the bottom and the top of this. Otherwise, it does kind of stick because the turkey is pretty dry and sticky. Okay, so I'm just going to take out until this is -4 ounces. Perfect, -4. And then we can just take this and mash it into a perfect little patty. And there we go. That's all there is to it. Put it on the plate, and we will just do the other 3. just gonna stay in the fridge. I'll show you once Charlie gets them grilled. But then I just like to put them in individual Ziploc bags, and then I just take them out and heat them up and cook them, and they are perfect little turkey burgers. Alright, I'm getting ready to start on the egg roll in a bowl. This will make 6 servings. This is from slap-mom.com, and if you do it exactly like she has it, it comes out to 1 point for blue and purple and 2 points on green. So I'm on the blue plan, so it will be 1 point per serving. The only change I'm really going to make is I'm going to use 2 pounds of the 99% lean ground turkey breast instead of just 1.5. And then everything else pretty much is going to be about the same. We need 1/4 cup of water. She says 3 cups of green cabbage. I'm just going to use this whole bag of coleslaw mix. 1 medium carrot shredded. So I'll just probably put in, I don't know, half of this bag, maybe a little bit more. We shall see. There's 0 points on the blue plan, so it doesn't really matter. 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder or fresh minced garlic. I'm going to try to just finish off what garlic I have left in here and be done with that. 1/2 tablespoon of some fresh ginger. I'm just going to use this ginger paste. And then we also need some sesame oil, 2 tablespoons of that, and some rice vinegar, 1 tablespoon of that, salt and pepper, and then optional would be coconut aminos, hoisin sauce or whatever, and then I'll probably just use the low sodium soy sauce in place of that. So basically we're going to brown up our turkey and then start adding everything else in, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to use my big pot that I have because once I add in like the coleslaw and the carrots and everything, it'll be pretty full. So let me get set up and we will get to cooking. Okay, so first of all, she says to brown the ground turkey. She doesn't say to spray it, but I'm just going to spray a little bit of the olive oil spray in here, just to go ahead and keep it from sticking. And put in both pounds of my turkey. There's 1 and 2. I'm going to go ahead at this point and salt and pepper, even though she kind of says to do that later, but I like to salt and pepper the meat just to give it a little flavor. And then I'm just pretty much going to break this up and cook it until it is browned, which for ground turkey means once it turns white. So I will be back here in just a few minutes and we will get everything else added to it. This is a pretty easy dish to make. Okay, so we have the turkey browned pretty good now, I think, and we are going to go in with the 1/4 cup of water, which I have measured here. And we're going to turn the heat down a little bit now. And it says to go ahead and add in the 3 cups of shredded cabbage, which I'm just using this coleslaw mix. It also has some carrots in it, but that's alright. And then it says 1 shredded carrot, but we're just gonna we'll do quite a bit of carrots. I like carrots. They're 0 points. There we go. 3 good handfuls. That should be plenty. And then we're also gonna add in the garlic, the sesame oil, and the ginger. So again, on the garlic, it's just calling for like 1/2 teaspoon or whatever. I'm just gonna use that much and kind of say we're done with this container because all that's left in there pretty much is the liquid. And we're going to go in with 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, which sesame oil does have a pretty strong flavor. And then it says 1/2 tablespoon of ginger. I'm just going to squeeze some in there. And then it also says to salt and pepper to taste. And then we're basically going to cook it until the cabbage and the carrots are softened up. And then once they're softened up, we will add in the rice vinegar and cook it for just another minute or 2 and it will be done. We'll just do a little more salt and pepper in here, and then I'm going to do a little taste test. Okay, it definitely needs some more salt and pepper. I think I'm going to also put in just a little bit more of this ginger. I just really don't taste it that much. Okay, that's tasting better. I think once we put in the soy sauce, it'll be good. Okay, so we're going to go in with 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar. And we're going to do 2 or 3 tablespoons of the soy sauce. And then we'll see how that tastes, if it needs more soy sauce or not. We can always add more the night that we heat it up as well. Okay, I think that tastes perfect. It could possibly use a little more soy sauce, but I would rather wait and put a little bit on it whenever I heat it up, whenever I get ready to have it for a meal. So I'm just gonna let this cook for another minute or two, and we will be ready to plate it up. Okay, we are ready to plate this up. I'm just going to eyeball it and divide it into the 6 containers. I like to use these with the 2 sides so that we can have the pot stickers and spring roll with our dinner. So these are the perfect little containers to put them in. Here are the completed egg roll in a bowl dinners. They turned out nicely, and actually that did not take probably 15 minutes to cook altogether, so super easy. Tastes good. We will have the pot stickers and the spring rolls with it. Charlie could not find the chunk spring rolls, so he got some of a different kind this week, which are more in points. I'm probably going to stop at Kroger tomorrow and see if they have the chunks, because I just prefer that one. But again, these are, what did I say, 1 point on blue, so I do have a little bit of room to play with some points if I want to, but you know me, I like to stick with what I know, what I like. So anywho, these are done. Now we will move on to the chicken and the veggies. Hey guys, before my battery dies, I wanted to give you a pro tip. Whenever you have chicken soaking in a big pot of water, be sure to use 2 hands whenever you get it out. Otherwise, you spill it everywhere and you have to mop the floor. Charlie's mopping. Say hi, Charlie. It's not focusing on you. There we go. I made a big, huge mess. All in the floor. Okay, so while the floor is drying, we're gonna go ahead and get our veggies and our sweet potatoes ready to go in the oven, and then we're gonna get started on the chicken. So I have the California blend vegetables here. I'll show you this bag, which I probably used about 3/4 of it and put on this baking sheet that's just covered with aluminum foil. The only thing that I'm gonna season this with is the Montreal steak seasoning. Now this does make it pretty salty and pretty spicy, so if you don't like either of those, then you might want to season with something else, but you can literally use whatever you want to. We've just always liked this. It's delicious. Y'all know we like everything spicy. So I'm going to do a good heavy dose on here, and this is just going to bake in the oven along with the sweet potatoes. I have the oven preheated to 400 degrees, and I'm going to put them in for 30 minutes and then stir everything. There's actually quite a lot of sweet potatoes because I ordered 5, because sometimes you get little bitty ones and then sometimes you get big ones. Well, they were all pretty big, so Charlie's probably going to have a lot of extra sweet potatoes this week. We shall see how that ends up. But that may have to cook a little bit extra. It's a pretty big pan of them. Okay, that's ready to go in the oven. I'm just going to set it to the side, and we will work on the sweet potatoes. So for the sweet potatoes, actually I'm going to go stick this in the freezer. I'll be right back. Okay, for the sweet potatoes, you're going to need some extra virgin olive oil spray, some pink Himalayan sea salt, and some cinnamon. And that's all that I'm going to season these with, and we're going to season it through a couple of times. I'm going to spray it pretty heavily with the olive oil spray. This one's almost empty, so I have another can waiting. And then we're going to go in with the pink Himalayan sea salt. And then we're going to go in with quite a bit of cinnamon. And we're going to give it a good stir. And if you see underneath, see, they hardly have anything on those. That's why we kind of do it 2 times, because I want everything nicely coated. And then we're going to go through all 3 again. Olive oil spray, salt, and cinnamon.
Keep thinking that I could have done something, but now I'm left with an empty heart. No making amends, no waking up beside you and holding you till we forget it all. How could I know there was no...
So now these are ready to go in the oven as well. I'm just going to stir them up. And we're going to put both these and the California blend vegetables in, like I said, for 30 minutes. And then we'll stir it halfway through. And they'll probably have to cook for at least 45 minutes to an hour total. I'm going to set a timer for 30 minutes so that I know to stir them. Let me clarify that. But they will cook for 45 minutes to an hour. And we'll just do one more little spritz of olive oil spray just for extra. There. Okay, I'm going to go in now. 400 degrees. Alright, I am finally ready to start on the air fryer chicken breast. I'm going to tilt you down here. So I have my chicken breast out of the water. I actually happened to notice that it said to make sure that you use kosher salt and not like table salt, which I used regular salt because it said it would be too salty. So I rinsed my chicken breasts a couple of times pretty good and then patted them dry. I need to get some kosher salt for sure because most of Skinnytaste recipes seem to call for it and I never remember to even get it. That's on my list to try to get. But anywho, so I have my chicken breast here and I've kind of patted them dry mostly. And I have my spices mixed up, which hopefully this is enough. We'll see if I need to mix up another thing of it. But it's basically, and this is some weird amounts because you can change, like whenever you do the recipes, to how many. And so I did 6 servings, and this is like supposed to be 1.13 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1.13 teaspoons of onion powder, 0.75 teaspoons of dried parsley, 0.75 teaspoons of smoked paprika, and 0.19 teaspoons of cayenne pepper. So I just kind of guessed on that, like I did like 1.5 garlic, 1.5 onion, and probably about a full teaspoon of the parsley and the paprika, and then just a little bit of cayenne pepper. It says to spritz with the olive oil spray, so that's what I'm going to do. And we are going to sprinkle a little bit on top and try to rub it in, I guess. We'll see how this goes. I just hope I have enough seasonings. And I am preheating my air fryer. You can probably hear it. It's probably going to click here in about 30 seconds. And of course, we will have to do this in batches. Which it sounds like we're preheated, and I think 2 or 3 of them is all that's going to fit in there. So I'm going to take these first 3 that I've gotten ready and go ahead and put in there. I have a feeling I'm going to have to mix up some more seasonings. We shall see. Okay, let's move over to the air fryer, and we're going to spray the inside of the air fryer for sure. I don't know, I may only be able to get like 2 of them in there. Okay, so we're just going to do 2. So it says to cook at 380 for 10 minutes. I've only got 390 or 375, so we're going to go 375 for 10 minutes. And it says to turn it halfway, so I'm just going to go through and get these ready, and then I will just show them to you once they are done. Okay, here are the completed turkey burgers that Charlie grilled up on the grill for me. I'm just letting them cool completely, and then like I said, I will bag those up individually and have them in the freezer ready to go for the next 3 or 4 weekends. Super yummy. Okay everyone, I have kind of put together a recipe. I've looked at several different recipes for some pumpkin muffins, and so this is what I'm going to try. We shall see if it works out. So I'm going to use 2 cups of the Kodiak Cakes protein packed carb conscious flapjack and waffle mix, no sugar added. I'm going to use 2 cups of that. I'm going to use half a can of this 100% pumpkin. I have half left from last week where I made my chocolate cookies. I'm going to use half a cup of the Chobani non-fat Greek yogurt. I'm going to use half a cup of the sugar-free Karis maple syrup. And then I'm also going to do 2 eggs. I have 2 eggs here. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And then I've got 48 of the Lily's pumpkin spice flavor baking chips measured out here. And then I'm really not sure on the consistency if it will be, too thick, if I need to add any milk or not. I did plug in a half a cup of the almond milk. And with all of this, these come out to 2 points each. If you can see that. And even if I change to, say, 2 servings, if I want 2 muffins, then it just rolls up to 4. If I want 3 muffins, it rolls up to 6. So it is a true 2 point per muffin recipe. So let's give her a shot and see if it's any good. Okay, I am ready to get started on these muffins. We're going to go in with 2 cups of the Kodiak pancake mix, which 2 cups, well, 1 cup is 53 grams, so 2 cups would be 212 grams, so that's how I'm going to measure it out. 213, close enough. And then we're going to go in with, I got to look at my recipe, I can't remember now, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, which this is a half teaspoon, so I'm going to do 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of the pumpkin pie spice. So I'll do 4 of these half teaspoons as well. That smells good. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's 2 teaspoons total. And then we're just going to do 1 teaspoon of the baking powder. So I'll just do 2 of these. And I think that's all of the dry ingredients except for the pumpkin chips. We'll add those last. So I'm just going to mix this up well, and then we'll start going in with our wet ingredients. Okay, now we're going to go in with our wet ingredients. I'm going to go in with half a cup of the Chobani non-fat Greek yogurt. You know, one thing I might put in here too is some Swerve brown sugar, because it won't add any additional points. I just thought of that. And then we're going to go in with half a cup of the sugar-free maple syrup, although this will give it sweetness, and the chips will, I guess. And then we're going to go in with half a can of pumpkin. And we are going to go in with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I don't think I said that earlier. That won't change the points. And our 2 eggs, which I've already cracked in this bowl over here. I just don't like to put them directly into the mixture. Okay, we're going to mix this up and see what the consistency is before we decide if we want to add any almond milk or not. And it actually may not need any. Okay, y'all, this smells good. Like, really good. I have high hopes. I don't think I'm going to add any more liquid to it. If you can see, it's looking like a good consistency for muffins. So we're just going to go in with our Lily's pumpkin spice chips and mix those right in. And we'll be ready to put them in our muffin tin. I'm probably going to bake them for about 15 minutes at 350. I'm just kind of winging it. I may put it at like 12 or 13 and check it. We'll see. So I'm going to clean up real quick, grab my muffin tin, and I'll be back. Alright guys, so we have our pumpkin pie muffin mix ready here. I have high hopes for this. I hope it's good. I'm not going to add any brown sugar to it, but I am going to take some of the monk fruit sweetener like I did whenever I made the Hannah banana bread and sprinkle on top, because I thought that gave it a nice little sweet taste, and I think Charlie would agree with that too. It was just like a nice little touch on top, so that's what I'm going to do. And then if it's not sweet enough, the next time I will add some of the Swerve brown sugar in. But we are going to spray our muffin tin, and then I'm just going to use my ice cream scoop to scoop it into the 12 muffins. Portioned out. I'm just going to take a little bit of this monk fruit sweetener, which this is 0 points, and we are just going to sprinkle it on the tops. You could totally leave this step out if you didn't want to do it. Okay, we're going to go in. I'm going to put it in for 13 minutes and then check on them. We'll see how long they take. Okay guys, here are my pumpkin spice muffins made with Kodiak cakes. We shall see how they are. I have not tried them or anything yet. I've just been letting them sit here and cool. I ended up cooking them for 15 minutes. I put them in for 13, but then felt like they still needed a couple of more minutes, so I just moved them from the bottom rack to the middle rack, and I'm going to get them out of here in just a minute and set them on a plate, and we shall see how they look. And Charlie and I are super excited to try them. They look good, they smell good, they smell like pumpkin spice, so high hopes, fingers crossed. Okay, so the chicken is still cooking. There's one more batch left. Charlie is swapping that out, and the potatoes and the veggies are done. So I'm going to go ahead and divide those between our containers. Mine will be the pink, Charlie's will be the green. These are a lot of potatoes. Everything that I'm eating is going to be 0 except for the potatoes. So I'm probably going to do like 6 ounces in mine. That way it'll be a 6-point meal. And then Charlie will just get the rest. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to get my handy dandy little scale here so I can try to measure that out. And we'll see. 6 ounces may be way too much. I may stop at 5. But I think 6 would be just this end really filled. Okay, that's exactly 6 ounces. So that's what I'm going to do in mine, and then we'll put the rest in Charlie's.
You got that something, baby, that I can go without, just like a poison in me. You're all that I'm about. Loving the highs, don't mind the lows. It's getting out of my control. I want that something, baby, 'cause I can go without. Mama used to tell me love ain't right if it ain't easy, but I'm in too deep to walk away from you.
Okay, I'm just going to set the rest to the side until we get the chicken in, and then I'll just kind of see if I can pile the rest in Charlie's chicken. Otherwise, we may just have to freeze this and save it for later. It's a lot of potatoes. Okay, and then of course the vegetables are 0, so we will just divide these out evenly. And then our last batch of chicken is almost ready.
Going sober, I'm addicted to your love, to your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough of your love. I want your love, I need your love, 'cause I'm never gonna get enough. Can't say I'm hurting, baby, but I don't feel too good. It's like I'm burning lately when you're not in my blood. Loving the highs, don't mind the lows. It's getting out.
Okay, so there's still 2 more chicken breasts that have to finish cooking, which I am going to have to cut some of them in half. We shall see here. So instead of just doing like 6 whole chicken breasts, we did 5, but we just cut them thin because I like mine on the thinner side. So I'm going to go in and put like 1 chicken breast in each one of our containers, and then we will cut the others. Like I'm going to give Charlie that big one. Y'all know I don't like the big thick pieces. He's going to get those. Huh? Yeah, that one is the thick one. I like these smaller pieces. I don't know why I didn't put a chicken breast in that other one.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, what is she doing?
I'm crazy, y'all. It'll be alright.
You got 2 whole ones in that one.
I do, don't I? Well, there we go. Okay, so we got the last 2 chicken breasts here. And I'm just going to cut them in half. They are nice and hot. They just came out of the air fryer. We ended up cooking them for 14 minutes. If you see there, can you see that? It's pretty perfectly cooked. We just did 7 minutes per side. You know, I like to overcook my chicken. Or I at least don't want it undercooked. And I just felt like the 10 minutes was a little too little. So, anywho, we are going to just kind of divide this out wherever we see we need some. Charlie's just going to get like a couple of extra pieces. That one was good. It kind of fell apart. Let's see if I can do that one. Oh, I didn't throw that knife in the sink again. Hi, Luna. She's like, oh, I smell chicken. There we go. Good enough. Okay, here are the completed air fryer chicken breast. 0 points on the blue plan. I measured out 6 ounces of sweet potatoes for myself, and then I have my veggies. So I'm just going to count this meal as 6 points. Again, this is a nice hearty meal. Y'all know I know how to like bulk it up. So I think that's the best way to work the WW plan, is to use those 0 point foods to your advantage, and don't let yourself be hungry. We're never hungry, are we, Charlie? Nope. So we are going to set up now. We are done, and we're going to close out for the day. All right, I have finished up today's meal prep. Looking good in here. We have our 7 containers of fruit, and 7 containers of yogurt for my lunches this week. I will pair that with my turkey sandwich as usual. Here is the egg roll in a bowl. We will have a couple of chicken pot stickers and spring rolls with this to make this meal a little more hearty. This is 1 point per serving the way that it is done. And then we have the Skinnytaste air fryer chicken breast. The chicken breast is 0. There's no breading or anything on it, just some seasonings rubbed on it. And then we have sweet potatoes and roasted veggies. So I did 6 ounces in mine, and then I just heaped Charlie's up. We actually ended up putting the rest in the freezer in a bag, so we will just see if those reheat well later. Never done that before, but I didn't want to throw them out. It was just so many. Charlie didn't want that much on his plate, so I have my 5 containers of eggs for Monday through Friday and my 10 pieces of bacon. And then I'm super excited about my pumpkin muffins this week. Hopefully they are nice and sweet. If not, the next time I make them, I will add in some of the Swerve brown sugar. But we did a little taste test of the edges of the muffins, and I thought that it tasted good. I think these are going to be better than the Lakanto muffin mix that I made the last time that I bought at Home Goods. So, anywho, overall, super excited about this week. And again, I have completed another successful meal prep. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me for another meal prep video. I hope that you get some great ideas. I hope that you try some of these recipes. I know that the egg roll in a bowl is good. We've had that several times. We did a little taste test of the air fryer chicken. Tasted pretty good. You know, I've had my sweet potatoes and my veggies before. Those are always a win. And I have high hopes for my pumpkin muffins. So super excited about my meals this week. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you to all of Jennifer's Gems that make it all the way to the end. And I will see you all in the next video. Mwah.